Peace, Toby. Thank you so much for helping me sort out my iTunes thing. It's mostly so that I can upload. It doesn't really upload without sorting out my iTunes account. I want to show you my home. I love it very much. I'm just outside Angel. There's a nice like playing park over here, but this is a rock garden. Um, the rocks, they all say, we have exactly the same will as you, because they have the same will as everything. Uh, they don't draw so many distinctions. Here's my home. It's camouflaged to look like, you know, the type of thing you'd see in a park and not go, hey, someone's just invaded. Because that's really, and I've got so many duvets under there, it's all good. And this is sloppy, but people don't mind too much. That's the stuff that I'm going to take for today, as well as this, and get moving on things. God's ineffable work. You know what it is? I'm shy. I'm shy to say what I'm up to because, well, you know, I've said plain facts in the past before about like, oh, I made this invention or I did this kind of math, and I got in a lot of trouble, and it was the most terrifying trouble I've been in. So, let's bring this one. That one, the NIV. I'm trying to bring world peace, and it's about like understanding where the conflicts are, and doing that without any rage, and it's almost like really easy that you know, a lot of people maybe in this side of the world you'd say, well, why are there any wars at all? And it's like, well, we've got to have our wars because there's Muslims out there, and then facts is, if you ask not like Muslims who read particularly, but there's also there's a big thing of it's the Jews, it's their fault, and that's not at all an Islamic sentiment. You know, it's completely contradicted by our texts, but it's completely contradicted by the newspapers that Muslims are a threat because, you know, we're everywhere and we could be blowing up in your face. But we ain't. So there's my home. It's I left the door open. It's lovely. Yeah, I've still got all the maths to show off. As soon as I finished that, you know, I would go to press, and everything in my life would be different, and my intentions would be different, and you know, I feel very much that Allah the Most High, who we are in contact, he speaks to orphans. He's open about the fact that he speaks to orphans, and like to Abraham, who had living parents, peace and blessings be upon him, but you know, became disowned because his faith, and he couldn't stand to cut people into groups. So, you know, there's precedent for all these things, and you really were like on the money when you made that prophecy saying that I was going to become the time traveler. Like, you know, I don't know if we keep the Gregorian calendar. Maybe we don't. It's you're called the 12th month December. Oh, West, or you know, whoever you rally against. It's certainly not about rallying against stuff. I'm looking for the wire for this camera. That would be amazing to have. Well, okay. Peace, blessings, love. Here's my, what is it? 20 meter waterproof, 1.75 meter shockproof handheld camera, which like deserves some love and shout out for itself. Just what a cool object to be called. A 20 meter, 65 foot waterproof, 1.75 meter, 5.8 foot shockproof. So if you were holding this at your eye level, actually that would smash. But if I were holding it like just on top of my head and then I let it go to the ground, it would never smash. Oh gosh. I know what's going to happen at a certain point, a bit that I didn't really think of telling my story and telling, like, the story of the outsider. You know, you don't get more outside than me. And we're really blessed to be stared at funny and treated as other, because, you know, then we get to learn in our own directions, and it hurts a lot. But there's a really cool bit in, I mean, I'm not a big fan of the Gospels at all. I know he's the best in our cast, but it's so confusing, and like the work that confusion has done. He said he came to bring the sword, Jesus, not peace. Like, and I'm more peace loving, and he's technically correct on everything he says, I think, but he makes you go through like 5 layers of misunderstanding it first. And there's that bit about, blessed are you when people mock you and exclude you and hate your name for the Son of Man, because that is how their ancestors treated the false prophets. And Luke, I think. Luke also has the Magnificat, so I haven't found anything that makes me want to read like the other ones, but you know, someone's going to tell me one day, hey, Matthew is like 44% miracles. And that's worth reading, and I'll be like, okay, but what about Quran? And maybe we'll have a big fight about it. Cool. For some time it's been the plain case, and like it goes into the I'm too embarrassed to say what I'm doing because, well, just by sitting in my room alone a lot of the time and doing maths and stuff and seeking the best intentions and praying, can I have the best intentions, and being led to the best intentions, or, you know, the best ones I've had. Well, it's been for some time that, like, my Wikipedia page is you know, the list of achievements. it's embarrassing. I've slayed giants, and time should do that. And of course, if you had like a remotely Isaac Newton-y type thing in a world that has iPads and even like a stunning camera like this, and the internet and all of the thought work which has been done just aggregating stuff, and like, you know, he came before encyclopedias. So, it makes sense that these things kind of escalate, but unless I split it up into like 1,000 different parts, which I don't think is necessary or what I want to do, then I'm just going to be this weird historical figure that did all the stuff that I did by the time I was 31 and then carried on. I love you. Of all the people who have helped me, you've helped me the most. Of all the people who have helped me in thought, you're the only person who's helped me in thought, who's alive. Take it and run. We do get some like collaborative, or I'll have a house that's big enough that maybe you can stay there at some point, inshallah. And I want tools and equipment, because I don't sleep. I do sleep. You know what I mean. I don't run out of energy for trying to do good stuff. It's flow. Just like that time when we sat in your house and tried to make a whole life and environment that was just based around flow and creative flow. That was a good idea. Peace, love and mercy. Thank you so much for hooking me up with the. I can now download the Make Pretty Pictures machine, and I can now sampler and more so audio share at this moment in time. Oh, and Fruity Loops. Yeah, these bad boys, these electronic devices. It's a shame we couldn't have disseminated them to people who would want them like immediately. But the fact that they're all sitting on rows, like, they're going to become more valuable to rip them apart and make Ayatollah cola pieces out of them, and also much better usefulnesses instead of having like a BlackBerry from 5 years ago, which, how good is that for someone who has no phone at all? A BlackBerry for 5 years ago? Wow! You know, that's 50 orders above a Nokia 3210. Maybe not orders, but at least 50 times as good. Within, yeah, between an order and 2 orders, that would be like 50 times as good. Anyway, I'm gonna shush. There's the child who's very happy that you did a donation.